Friday morning, and I am going to the gym with Sophie, and I'm excited to say that it is beginning to get quite a lot lighter in the morning. Like it's 5:45 and it's kind of light a little bit. Whoop, losing my light. All right, off I go. Can we have an oat flat white and a oat piccolo? And then
Oat flat white and a
oat piccolo. Yeah, exactly. Hello! Oh, here we go. You're so handsome. Good morning, everyone. For the second time, I have just got back from coffee and the gym. It was a new trainer today who was really good. She was very, what's the word? Just like quite driven, which I personally really like, to kind of motivate me. And it was also slightly less, it was like a little bit more arm stuff. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be a little bit less crippled, because the last few that I've been to, it's taken me like 5 days to recover from. But I really, yeah, it's a really good way to start the morning. So feeling pleased with myself for that. Today, I don't really have much of a pre-formed idea, but I think what I might do is take myself down to Lennox and just potter around, go to a cafe, take my diary, and yeah, maybe hopefully find some op shops. I'm actually not sure what op shops are down that way, but I've not been there for ages, so I feel like it'll be a nice change of scene. And then I would also like to, this afternoon, our friend Gabe has broken his leg and isn't supposed to stand. So I thought that I might make a few kind of like tray dinners. So I was thinking I might make an apple crumble and maybe a macaroni cheese. So go to the supermarket and get ingredients for that, and then cook that this afternoon. It is also a very beautiful day, so I might be tempted to go to the beach. Frustratingly, not that this precludes me from going to the beach, but I do like taking my knitting to the beach, but frustratingly, I have run out of yarn for the project that I'm working on at the moment, and the new shipment hasn't arrived yet. So I might need to start a new project. I do have a couple of crochet things on the go, but I just am not feeling the call to do the crochet. But I'm gonna jump in the shower and then get myself ready for the day, and then we can head to Lennox. It's currently about 8:30, I think. So I think if I go to Lennox in the morning, come back, have some lunch here maybe, and then I have my afternoon to do something else. Ta-da! I am showered and make-upped. I'm constantly amazed by the difference that a tiny bit of mascara and just like moisturizer and a little bit of blush can make. I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to fit myself in, but this is what I'm wearing. I really love this skirt and I wear it all the time. However, it is a bit irritating to walk in because it's very like, you can't take big strides. It's kind of like having a resistance band around your legs. And this jumper, I kind of love and kind of hate, because I really appreciate that it's so oversized and comfy, but because it's quite a stiff cotton, it feels a bit ungainly sometimes. Like it kind of feels like you're drowning in just like really heavy, stiff fabric. Sensory overload from time to time, but we're doing it. I also, in this kind of like not quite winter, not quite spring weather, I'm often a little bit mismatched with like what shoes do I wear with my outfit, because I'm often wearing a jumper and I never know if it looks ridiculous to wear flip-flops with a jumper. But I'm doing it today regardless. Also, my hair is on the cusp of being greasy and I couldn't be bothered to wash it. And I don't know whether I'm going to regret that. Also, let me show you this. This, you see? I randomly, so I have been at the back of my mind, I don't know why, wanting a little horse statue for ages. And then I saw this in the window of the op shop yesterday on my lunch break, and I absolutely love it. It's like this little brass vintage, so the volume changes heaps when I put my face that close to the camera. It's this little brass horse statue with kind of verdigris on it, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. And even though we're not really a trinkets household, I'm like actually obsessed with this beyond all reason, because it is just a small horse statue. But I think it's fantastic. I also think it looks very cool with the vintage fan, and then this is a vintage film development tank that would have been used to process film. It's so sweet. All right, in the car, off we go. I think the plan of attack is I might go to the op shop first, just because I've just brushed my teeth and had a protein, so I feel like I can wait a little bit before we go straight into another coffee. I have also brought my swimming costume because it's very beautiful weather. I think it's probably going to warm up quite nicely, and tomorrow and Sunday are supposed to be pouring with rain. I don't really feel like going for a swim now, but as they say, you never regret a swim. So I have the option. There's also the Tea Tree Lake down there, which I've not swum in for ages, but I really like. I also quite like that the tannins are supposed to be quite good for your skin and your hair, about which I care deeply. So that might be the thing that gets me over the edge. But let's go. I'm so bad at committing to a parking spot, and I just drove all the way through town, and there were actually 2 spots that I could have parked in, but there was someone behind me and I got really stressed and just like didn't pull in. So now I'm on like the high street, kind of goes parallel to the water, and then there's the main centre of town there, and I'm quite a long way back by the beach, which I think actually is nicer because now I can have a look at the waves before I head into town. But I wanted to tell you about the book that I'm listening to, because I really impulsively the other day purchased an audiobook called Land by Maggie O'Farrell, which I knew that I recognized that name, but like I couldn't quite pin it. And I really loved the book. It was kind of the perfect mix of like mystical but quite kind of intelligent and just like really beautifully written. And I liked it so much that when I finished it, so I didn't really have anything that I was like, oh, I'm going to read this next. I just went onto like the author's profile to see what else she'd written. And I didn't realize that she's the same author that wrote Hamnet, which I'm not currently listening to. I'm now listening to a book also by her called This Must Be the Place, which I'm also really enjoying, and I feel quite excited because it is such a lovely feeling when you find an author who's written a lot of books that I've not read before. So I'm feeling quite like, oh, I get to read through everything else that she's written, listen to. Yeah, I've really not been reading physical books at all, but have been churning through audiobooks. Which I'm fine with. In my mind, it's the same thing as reading. But anyway, I'm going to go and find the op shop. though Lennox is only like 20 minutes from Byron, it feels like, I mean, it is a seaside town, but it feels like summer holidays. Like, it feels slow and sleepy, and it's got that Sunday afternoon feeling where like you've maybe been on holiday, you haven't put shoes on for a week, everything's a bit salty, you've eaten every meal outside. Yeah, it's given me a lovely sense of summer is on the way. Anyway, I went into a lot of places actually. There was a very cool vintage shop that had lots of really great stuff, but quite affordable actually for vintage prices, like maybe $60 for a pair of like reasonably nice branded jeans, but I couldn't be bothered trying things on at that point. So I actually ended up just getting the little grey singlet. I don't know if I will ever end up wearing this like on its own. I really like the look of other people in singlets, and then every time I try and wear one, I feel very, very naked having that much of my arm out, which is ridiculous, but I don't know, I just always feel a bit funny, and I'm not sure that they quite look as good on me as I see them on other people. There's an ant on my hand. And then the other thing that I got, which I'm so pleased about, is this quite large quantity of like chartreuse 100% cotton yarn, which I think I may start knitting with this afternoon. I don't know what I will make with this. I don't know if there's enough. 100, 200, I reckon there's like just over 300 grams, so probably not enough for a t-shirt unless it was like a really loose gauge. Anyway, I shall think on it. I'm not really in the mood to go for a swim, but I'm going to drive down to the lake and see what it's like. I also, yet again, I feel like it is cripplingly embarrassing to film in public, despite the fact that I really appreciate it when I'm watching other people's videos and they show me all the fun things that they're doing. I feel like there's a disconnect between the enjoyment of a viewer watching it and then the perception of someone else seeing someone else in public film. Like, the people watching me film myself in public is not like, I want to be able to deliver that, but I don't want to be seen to collect that kind of footage. But I think I did reasonably all right. I got a few clips. Anyway, let's go to the lake. That's a lizard. Okay, I'm now actually slightly overheating because I've not turned the car on and I've just been on the phone to Duncan. I have got that childish sense of, not childish, childlike sense of like hyper concentrated excitement and joy because it is so beautiful here. Oh, I've put mascara on my eyelid. I just went for a little walk around the lake and there's a kiosk at the Surf Lifesaving Club. And there are heaps of people out with their dogs. It's like 24 degrees. There are kids with parents with their cute babies, and it's like the most picturesque thing I've ever seen. And I don't know why we've not come down here more often. I've just texted Sophie and Duncan being like, next sunny day, we're coming here. We're going to pack a picnic and spend the whole day. I feel like I've just discovered a treasure that I'm going to cherish into my future. Wow. I have not gone for a swim because, for no particular reason, but I think I'm actually gonna head back into Byron and pop into the supermarket to get that stuff to make Gabe's macaroni cheese. Duncan just rang to say that last night he got a wild craving for dumplings as we were going to bed because we've discovered this new place in town that does a buffet on, I think only on Sundays, but they're also on Uber Eats. So he's just proclaimed that to celebrate the ending of his week, we're going to have dumplings for dinner, which I'm not complaining about. Anyway, I'm going to go home, make the mac and cheese, and an apple crumble. That's the other thing I'm going to do. And I might also pop into the bead shop in town. Depending on how much the beads cost, because I feel like I just don't really know how much beads are, but my vision is that I want to make a new key ring for myself. And I've seen a couple of beaded designs that I'm gonna copy, and I'd really like to do it with that it's like white and black stone where it's white with kind of darker spots. Is it labradorite? Well, I don't know which. I don't know if it's either of those. Anyway, maybe it's a form of jade, actually. Anyway, I have this particular stone in my mind that I'd like to find some beads of to make a keychain, but it's the kind of thing where the beads could be like $3 each, or they could be like $30 each. But there is a bead store on the high street in town, so I will pop my head in there while I'm mishing around. Yeah. That's all I really have to say. I'm beginning to sweat, so I might drive home. Back at home, the bead shop, while very, very cool, didn't really have beads that were big enough for what I had in mind. They only had, their biggest bead was like 18 millimeters, which is kind of like a chickpea size, and I want ones that are quite chunky. But then I was kind of parked in front of the bead shop, which is like maybe 200 meters from the supermarket, and I thought that I would walk to the supermarket rather than driving up to park up there. And on my way, I remembered that there's another, I think it's called the Anglican Op Shop, that's only open between 10 and 2 on Monday to Friday. No, 10 and 1 even, so it's like not open for very long. And because it's so rarely open, I very rarely go in there. But I decided to pop in and found, tangled them, but these two necklaces. Oh no! Wow, what have I done? Right, I think actually I've managed to like notch them together. And this one has got, I think these are like kind of resin. There's this cool bright red one. These are green ones, and then black ones, and then these kind of see-through ones, which I'm gonna try and do something with. Or I could just be like a cool, funky art teacher. Oh, earring. And then this, which is wooden beads. Might have to show you the other way because it's a bit backlit. Oh, there we go. I guess these are painted maybe? I don't quite know what's causing that color. But I figured that for maybe like a test run, I could use these, and then if I like it, great. And if I don't, I can order some beads online. I also went to the bottle shop to get beer. I went to the supermarket to get ingredients. I think it was only when I was at the checkout that I realised that I think I was perhaps being a little bit ridiculous. I bought 2 packets of macaroni pasta. I don't know what came over me, but somehow I was like, no, that's not very much pasta. But it is a significant amount of pasta. Apples for apple crumble. Before I do anything else, I think I'm gonna have some lunch. I got some lovely strawberries and some oranges and some banana. I think I'm just gonna do like a little fruit salad, which I'll do now. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. Let me turn it around to show you. I chopped up the fruit really, really small because that's how I like it. This is going to be perfection. That is so good. All right. Sorry, you can probably hear the very noisy washing machine. I'm going to take a quiet moment to eat this, and I think maybe just chill for a moment. I suddenly feel quite like, whew, doing a lot of things. Yeah, maybe I might think about what I do with that green yarn. It is now 3:15. I had to change my top because that jumper was annoying me so much. I've cleaned the kitchen for the second time today. Duncan will shortly arrive home, and honestly, I can't be bothered making macaroni cheese. I think I will probably have time tomorrow. Instead, I think I'm going to do some knitting and listen to my audiobook, which just sounds like heaven right now. Might even make myself a little hydrolyte. I feel like sipping on something a little bit interesting. I'm actually not going to use the green yarn. I'm going to start something else with some really fine kind of glazed cotton. I think it's actually supposed to be for lace making, but I'm not going to make lace. I'm going to do something else, which shall unfold.